Hello everyone, this is Aman from Text365. In this video tutorial, I will show you guys how to set up single IP address with Proxmox and pfSense at the same time. Technically, you can use the single IP address with multiple VM, and usually that single IP address allocated for only Proxmox. So now our target is to how can we utilize the same IP address and use it with multiple VM or multiple other purposes. If you purchase a dedicated server that comes with single IP address, or if you're trying to set up a virtualization where your ISP only gave you only one single IP address, that case this tutorial might help you. So let's get started. I already created a pfSense, test pfSense here. So I'm going to log in this Proxmox. So in this Proxmox, I have only one IP address, and here let me show you data center, Proxmox, then network. You can see this is the public IP address that I got from the provider, and now I like to use this IP address for few other VM or with a pfSense. So let's get started. I created a pfSense instance in here just to fast forward this tutorial. So before you're gonna create pfSense, you need to set up some networking. Then we'll go to the pfSense creation process. So let's get started. Here, this is your host interface, the adapter. So that's the one you will receive the public IP address or whatever the IP address you have provided by your ISP. And this one is bridged with the public IP address. So this is basically our main adapter for this pfSense itself, though this is the physical device. So here you can see this is the IP address I got. So if I click edit, you can see this is the public IP address. That's fine. Now we're gonna create another IP address, interface. So that should be looks like we have VMBR0. So now we're gonna create Linux bridge VMBR1, which is fine. And for this one, I like to give 192.168, let's say 2.1. I think that's it. You can actually follow these tutorials, and then you don't need to make any kinds of modification if you like to make it simple. So this is the IP address, but we need to put a CID range. So let's give it /24. That means it will act as more like a router. So gateway, we can leave everything empty, and here maybe we can type a command. Maybe let's say net LAN create. So now we created a NAT interface, which will use as a WAN interface of the pfSense later. So now we'll have WAN interface for this pfSense, but we need also a LAN for pfSense if we like to share it with other VMs, or we can actually use this one as well. So I like to control some things with pfSense. That's why I need a LAN. So now we're gonna create a LAN interface for pfSense. So let's say another Linux bridge. You could go for a VLAN as well, but I'm going bridge. So for this one, I'm gonna keep it empty because it's a private network. So let's say pfSense LAN. I'm gonna give it a name pfSense LAN. Create. So now we have total 3 network. One is public IP address, host interface, let's say. Second one is the NAT IP address. Technically it will be the WAN of pfSense, then LAN of pfSense. Alright, Now let's create pfSense instance. You can do OPNsense, OpenWRT, pfSense, Unify, anything. So let's go and create VM. I'm gonna just show the whole process, but not gonna actually create the VM. I already created it. So VM ID, which is fine. Let's say pfSense 01 maybe. Then OS, I already have OS in here. And type, this is others, which is fine. System, CVI also is fine. Disk, you can allocate some storage, let's say 25 GB. CPU, I'm gonna give 22. Type, let's go select host. Memory 2 GB, which is fine. Network, here in network you have to assign WAN interface, which is VMVR. Then next, here you have choice. You can select whichever works for you. So Intel E100 1000, which mostly comes with the driver. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. Then confirm, finish. So you can keep it empty as well. Then next, then finish. So once you finish, this is what it looks like. So I'm gonna go to the hardware. I haven't actually assigned a network interface. So now I'm gonna add the network interface, because when the initialization process is gonna give only one option to add network, one interface. So I would rather use two at the same time. CD or DVD, I actually installed the pfSense. I can remove it. Okay, now here I'm gonna use add network device. Here I'm gonna use VMBears1, add. Then I'm gonna add second one, VMBear2, add. Now I created both network interface, and if I go to pfSense and start it, we're gonna configure the whole pfSense now. Something is wrong. Let's check. So pfSense. So here's the log. It says VMware not exist. Oh, we made a mistake in here. So we created all this network in here, but we forgot to apply the configuration. So we have to apply it. Great. So now it's applied. Let's go back and console. Let's start. So now it's starting. Let's wait a few seconds here. So it's booting up. So the boot is complete. So here it is. So this is the first boot process. It might ask you to set up the VLAN configuration. So here we are. So it says set up. So there is no IP address or no nothing configured on WAN interface. So we're gonna set up the WAN interface. So let's put WAN interface IP address. Press 2, and here press 1. So it says configure IP address for WAN by DHCP. No, because we don't have DHCP. So what's gonna be the IP address then? 192.168.2. So we assign 2.1 as a router IP address, or the main IP address of the interface. So we can assign it 2.2, and it was /24. So we're gonna put /24. So what's the upstream gateway IP address? This is most important. You have to put this way 192.168.2.1. The IP address of our VMware1 interface. So this one is actually this one. So this should be the IP address. So let's go back. Press enter. Should be default gateway, yes. IPv6, no. Nothing, enter. DHCP, no. it's saved. Press enter. So now we're gonna check ping. So we're gonna ping 192.168.2.1. So it's able to ping the gateway interface. However, if we try to ping something outside internet, you see it's not going outside. I mean, it cannot ping anything from internet. I'm trying to ping Cloudflare DNS, it's not coming. So now we have to do the critical part for this tutorial, which is we need to set up routing or port forwarding from our network configuration. So I already shared information here how you can do that. So we gonna enable the port for IP forwarding in our Ubuntu server, Proxmox server. So you can actually edit this file, or you can just simply copy paste these lines. So let's say copy one by one. So here I already associate the server. Then you can actually do this from here as well, like you can do that from shell here. So now we enable the port IP forwarding. So now we have to edit the network configuration file, network interfaces here. So here you can see the tutorial is almost identical, except the Ethernet interface name, which is ENS192 for my case, but in here it's something probably EP, something like that. So we actually gonna copy the whole structure from here. Let's say maybe this is necessary for us. So let's put it in here. Then we are gonna also copy this one as well. Okay, let's put this as it is. We like to make the structure same. Alright, here it was using interface, so we have to change the interface. For our case, interface is ENS192. So we're gonna change in here. We need to change anything? I don't think so. Anything we need to change in here because it's almost the same. We are using, yes, our interface also VMVR0, which is the main interface where internet comes. So make sure you're gonna change this one according your interface. All right. Then there, I'm using whole subnet for network. If you use anything other than this one, you have to put here as well. And this is the IP address I assigned for pfSense, so you have to change this one as well. And here you can see basically what it says, I'm forwarding all TCP and UDP port to the pfSense IP address except port 22 and 806. So 8006, which is for pfSense management console, and 22 is for SSH. You can eventually remove this one if you use Cloudflare tunnel to internally manage your Proxmox. So anyway, we need this. We're gonna just copy this one, and we're gonna come here. Then we're gonna paste it in here. For this one, we're gonna go VMVR1, this one. Now Control X, Y, save. So we can perform, we should perform a network reboot, or you can do service networking restart. That should be fine, but I suggest perform a perform a hard reboot. So let's do system reboot. for this one. Let's go reboot, and let's wait few minutes in here. So system is rebooted. Let's go back to the pfSense console. So it's booting up. Let's wait here. So here we are. Let's check ping first. Let's put internet IP address now. You can see now we're able to ping internet. Now let's see if we can access the pfSense through the public IP address. So this is our public IP address. So we're gonna open this IP address, but I think it will not work because this is a fresh pfSense and we haven't exposed any we haven't created any firewalls rules to open this port. So here, let's say we're gonna press open the shell, then we're gonna type pfctl -d. We're gonna disable the firewall temporarily, then we're gonna refresh this page. See, now it's giving self-signed certificate warning page. So all right, so yeah, it says HTTP referrer on. That's why it's not allowing us to access this IP address. So never mind, we can bypass that. Let's go to and do that. We're gonna open pfSense console. Then in shell, we're gonna type pfssh.php playback disable referrer check. So we disable the HTTP referrer check. Now if we refresh, here we are. Now we are able to access the pfSense page. So all you need to do in here, make sure you create a firewalls rules here, because currently in interface you actually disable, I mean by default is disable all private IP address and common networks, whatever it is. So here if I apply, it will apply the firewalls again. So meanwhile, I'm going to create a rule. Let's say top TCP fine, which is one IP address, and it should be HTTPS. So I'm going to give its name pfSense remote HTTPS access. Apply. Now even if we just refresh this page, it should work. So here it's all about, I mean, it's configured. Even though if it's not work, it's no longer the part of tutorial. So you can literally do the pfSense restart process, disable the firewall rules again, and that should do the whole process, whole things. So refresh, still, yeah, it's online now. So that's it. This is how you can manage your pfSense with single IP address and also the Proxmox. And if you have more VM you like to deploy, you can put it behind the pfSense LAN, or you can just do it from the Proxmox. Here you can just create VM and assign this interface, and you have to create a static IP address other than 2.1 or any other interface that you're already using, and then you can do the port forwarding things from the SSH, or if you just do it from the pfSense panel, technically you forward all the ports to pfSense. So literally you can forward the ports from pfSense to your other VM. So this is how you gonna manage your single IP address with multiple VM. If you came so far in here, I hope you're liking this video. So let us know if you have any question